Have you had a limiting belief that has held you back from achieving your goals? When I started this book, the first chapter, I started with a limiting belief that is holding you back. Why? Because we all have limiting beliefs. And until we start to address the limiting belief, we keep holding ourselves where we are. Under limiting beliefs, I listed out 3 things: principles, purpose, and people. The principles you have define you. The principles we have is like a framework that helps us to be able to do the things that we want to do or holds us back from achieving the things we want to do. Let me give you an explanation of what I mean. When I discovered the Word of God and I started to read the Word of God, I realized that there are certain biblical principles that apply in real life. The principles that I'm talking about is sowing and reaping. We have the principle of giving. And I've learned that the law of averages, if you are able to apply some of these principles and you are able to do some of these things, you increase the chances of getting some things to happen. If you think about the law of sowing and reaping, you can sow your seed, meaning that you're starting a business, and you sow your seed, meaning that you have bought your first product, you have bought your first tool to start your business. It doesn't mean that just because you're starting this business, you're going to get the results you want. Most people will start something, and for the first week, the first month, the first even year, the first 2 years, they don't see any results, and they think the business they chose is not the right business. So what they start to do is they start to jump from one thing to another. But in order for you to be able to figure out thing that you are doing, you need to do it for a little bit to know that this part of it works, this part doesn't work, and this is what I'm going to be working on moving forward. I see this all the time because I run a digital agency. Every single business you start, you consistently see people who start and stop. Who can relate to this? All of us know someone who every 6 months or every 3 months, they have a new business idea. They get up and it's like, oh man, I have this business idea. And they start to do the business and they realize something. They start to realize that the business was not as easy as they thought it's going to be. People hear people making money on crypto. People hear people making money on social media. People hear people making money on YouTube. But when they start to realize that the business they thought is going to be easy is difficult. And the thing is, every business has its own difficulty you have to go through. And if you decide that you're going to stop when things get difficult, most of us will not be able to do the thing we are supposed to do. Yes, I feel targeted. Kara says she feels targeted. Kara, it's true because I speak to a ton of my clients all the time. One thing is you constantly see people who are excited about ideas, and most of the time they really do not get the chance to be able to get the idea to take off and see it turn into a profitable business. They start and stop many times. And the thing is, don't listen to just what people are saying. Don't even listen to me. Do your research. Ask the people who do real estate whether it's easy to sell houses. Ask the people who sell cars whether it's easy to sell cars. Ask the people who write books whether it's easy to write books. Ask the people who even do public speaking whether it's always easy for them to do it. I almost didn't even do this live today, but I just told myself that, hey, I'm going to jump on here and do it. So for anything you're looking to do, there's always going to be challenges and difficulties. And the biggest mistake 99.999% of people do is that anytime they start something and it's difficult, they stop and start something else. But anytime you start, you're not starting from zero. Meaning that you start, let's say you're writing a book and you get to the middle and you stop and you decide to go do something else. Now you built some momentum doing this, you stop, you dropped it, and now you had to move to the next thing and start from zero. So you wonder why somebody for the last 5 years, the last 6 years, it seems like they're jumping from idea to idea because the work is actually boring. The work is boring. Like doing work, I don't care how you see this thing on social media, people make their work look so interesting, they fast forward it and they do other things like, wow, I want to do that same thing. It is not as fun as it usually looks on social media. However, it can be very fulfilling, meaning that you can have something that you are doing that is boring. It doesn't have to be exciting, but if it's fulfilling, you're going to go through the days that are difficult days. So these are principles that can guide anybody who is looking to start a business. You need to be able to find something that you actually care about. If you don't care about the thing that you're looking to do, chances are you're not going to do it. Principles are the first step. If you are looking to start anything, understand that there's going to be difficulty when you start anything in your life. But this is the trick. When things get difficult, figure out how to make it work. When you can figure out how to make it work, it starts getting easier. But anytime it's difficult and you jump from one thing to another, you get a dopamine and excitement of, oh, I've started some new business and I'm so happy about it. I'm so excited about it. But what usually happens is that after some time, you start to realize that you actually still have to create content for this new business. You still have to work. You still have to talk to people. You still have to do sales. And now you get back to the same place that you were. So in order to start building momentum and moving forward, you need to be able to go through the hard part, the mountain, the hill. You need to go over it in order for you to start getting some positive feedback from whatever you're doing. Am I speaking to anybody? Am I making any sense with what I'm sharing? And that's the principle number one I shared in 100K Secrets. Because for everything you are looking to do, you need to be able to apply the principle of knowing that it will take some work before you get results. Social media have made us think that everything that we want to do, we can get it right now. Instantaneous. Click a button and something happens. You just snap your fingers and you make your first 1 million. They make us think that everything is so super easy, and nobody shows the behind the scenes work. If you can see my eyes, I've been on meetings, Zoom calls, back to back work, doing behind the scenes stuff. So I didn't show you all that. All you saw is I just jumped on, what's it called, a live, and I'm just chatting with you. And certain people can make you even look like, you call themselves waking up. Oh, I wake up in the morning, don't do anything. My business makes XYZ. They're not telling you parts of it. There's work that has to be done. So when you're picking a business, pick something that actually you care about that will bring you fulfillment, because everything has some hard in it. And if you avoid the hard, the chances of you to grow is not likely to happen. The hard part is your barrier of entry, because a lot of people are not willing to go through the hard, so they give up. So why would you last? You will last because if you, as a business owner, decide to just go through the hard part and you can keep going through it and learning and bettering yourself, 99.9% of people, you're going to beat them because they're not going to go through it. They're not going to do the things they're supposed to do. So guess what? You are going to beat them in the long run. So entrepreneurship is a game of endurance. The person who can endure the most and the person who can learn the most wins. Let's move to the second part. If you just got what I said about principles and how you just need to be able to pick something that you care about, because at the end of the day, hard is hard. You just have to pick your hard. There's the hard 9 to 5 and there's the hard entrepreneurship. You just have to pick yours. If you know that principles is the first step, that everything you do, you need to be able to go through some form of hard. The next thing is purpose. If you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have direction, what usually happens is that anytime you see any shiny thing, an exciting thing, you just want to jump on it. Like I mentioned, somebody jumps from crypto, and tomorrow from crypto they are doing social media agency, and the next day they are doing blockchain, and the next day they are doing. Why? Because there's no clear-cut direction of where they want to go. So every new thing looks like the thing. You get it? If you don't know your final destination, every bus stop will feel like your destination. Anytime the bus stops, you feel like, oh, I've gotten to where I need to get to, because you don't have a clear idea of this is what the final destination needs to look like. So if you don't have a clear idea of what the final destination needs to look like, what usually happens is that you're just making stops everywhere you see. Every bus stop you get to, you'll be like, oh, let me just stop here. And you stop them. You know what? I still haven't gotten to my place, and you jump on another bus. Most of the time, we don't share the behind the scenes of doing what we need to do in order to get to where we want to get to. We only show the results, and it's very misleading because people feel like, oh, if I just start this in 6 months, this is where I'm going to be. But there needs to be some work that needs to go into it. And even if it's easy for somebody, let's say I'm a comedian, right? And for a living, I just crack jokes and I just say funny things and people laugh and I get paid. It might come easy to me, but at a certain point, I still have to put some work into it. Kevin Hart works, if you didn't know. You think he's a comedian. Which other comedian do you know? Like, they work. I have a sister, she's an actress. She works. Even though it's like, for people who have done it over and over and over again, it starts to get second nature to them, but it still work. They still have to plan, they have to schedule, they have to go to their meetings, they have to take gigs. So for anybody who's listening in here, purpose is direction. The reason I put purpose as the next step in this was because people will come and like, I want to start a business, and you ask them, what business do they want to start? Then they'll tell you, you know what, I want to start a fashion brand, but I'm still good with food, and I'm still good with, smartphones, and I'm still good with speaking, so I don't know what to do. Pick one thing and move. Pick one thing. You can make a good life and enjoy a wonderful lifestyle just from picking one thing and moving. You don't have to spread yourself thin of like those people have their bio, they have 20 different businesses that it looks like they own everything in this world. Like their bio is CEO of this, CEO. This is not a personal jab to anybody, please. This is just a live. Don't take it personal. But just imagine you see somebody's bio and the bio is I found out the CEO of this, and you just ask yourself, it's like if you're doing all these things and you are the actual CEO that have to oversee all these businesses. Let's say you have 10 businesses, right? And you are the CEO of 10 businesses. All the businesses, you haven't hired another CEO to take over that. You are the main person who is actually overseeing it. How much percentage of you does each business get? Each business will probably get like 10%. So let's say you have a balloon business, the balloon business gets 10%. You have a publishing business, it gets 10%. You have let's say a landscaping business, it gets 10%. So none of the business ever gets 100%. And you wonder why it doesn't take off, because you are competing with people who are giving their 100% to one thing. I hope I'm not ruffling any feathers here. For if you are competing in the marketplace as a business owner and you're doing so many things at once, it's good for experimentation to find out what you're actually good at, but it's not good long term if you're competing with other people, because guess what? How do you fight a battle and you have one hand at your back and one leg at your back and you're just fighting with, let me try and throw my leg up with like one leg. So principles number 1, everything has its heart. Next step is purpose. You need direction. And the third thing is not for you to be able to figure out all these amazing things. People are like, oh, then next you just start selling your thing. The next thing is you need to start associating yourself with people who are actually doing something commendable. We human beings, we like to mimic and imitate others. You see a little baby who's crawling on the floor, right? And they've been crawling for months and they see everybody in their household just walking. You just see them walking. Everybody's walking. In their head, it's like, I think I'm not supposed to be crawling because everybody around me is walking. So guess what? The baby starts to attempt to walk. Like if you have a friend, let's say you've known for a while and you guys have a close relationship and they're able to do something, it increases the chances of you doing it, because you start to believe that if they have the same resources as you and they're able to do it, you'll be able to do it too. So my next step of what I did when it comes to people is I started to go to networking meetings and hang around business owners who have actually built businesses. The thing is, it's not like they're going to be handing you over business, but the lingo, the kind of association, Liza is ahead of her time. She says, associate yourself with people who are doing something commendable, 100% on the money. If you are associating yourself with people who are doing and moving and shaking things, what usually happens is it becomes next in line. If all your friends are heavy smokers, the chances of you being a smoker increases. If all your friends like to drink and party, the chances of you doing that is going to increase. So we human beings, our brain is wired just to solve problems. So anytime we're in an environment, you're trying to look for something to do, and that makes us feel better about ourselves. So anytime you're idle, you're not doing anything, your brain will start looking for things for you to do. So if you associate yourself with people who are solving problems in the marketplace and are getting paid and getting compensated for solving those problems, what usually happens is your brain switches on that radar to be able to find a problem you can solve and figure out how you can get paid. If you are starting out, just figure out, if you can't leave your home and you cannot go to certain places, just go online. Facebook has a lot of business communities. Find some of the people who are part of those communities, start interacting with them. If you ask me, one of the best ways to do it is, instead of you just talking to people, offer them something that you can do for them. Look, let's say you want to work in Wall Street and you don't have any trading skills and you happen to meet, let's say, one of the top traders over there. One of the best things you can do is just, what can I do for you? How can I get you coffee? How can I arrange your decks? How can I make sure that I can send an email? Because you see, when you are able to do the basic things, the little things that you feel like, oh, it's nothing, you start to do it and you're able to help people. Now people start increasing the level of things that they can give you to be responsible for. People just don't get up and give you like 10 houses to be able to manage. You need to be able to manage whatever you currently have. And based on that, they're going to give you more responsibility in the long term. I posted something on Threads the other day and I say most people are trying to jump to number 10, even though they haven't completed number 1. And I think somebody said, ouch. It's the truth. Because all of us see this thing like we want to get here, but it takes work. Mandy says, that's why I wanted to roll with you and learn more. So much to offer. Mandy, you're funny. So identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back. The 3 P's in order for you to identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back are your principles, purpose, and people. These are the 3 things. Like, if you are able to adjust these 3 things, the principles you have, your mental software, your GPS that you are using in order to make decisions in your life. 2, the purpose, direction. You need to be able to have a clear-cut direction, meaning that you need to pick something and just stick with it for a while for you to get the data in order for you to make more informed decisions. And 3, find people who are moving and shaking things. If you are able to find people who are moving and shaking things and you associate with them, proximity-wise, you're going to learn way much more than trying to figure out things by yourself. Because let me give you an example. If you knew how to do the things, you would have done it. A lot of times, people are trying to figure out everything by themselves. But if you knew how to do the things, you would have done it. The reason you haven't done the thing is because you don't know how to do it. The reason I haven't done the thing is because I don't know how to do it. So I'm constantly working with people who know more than me so I can learn from them. It is not a bad thing. I don't know why certain people feel like, oh, in order for them to be around certain people, they just need to know everything. No, just make yourself useful. When I started my agency, right, we didn't have any portfolios of work where we could show people. So when I'm reaching out to people, what I did is my guy and I, one of my guys, we did an audit and we send it to people like, hey, this is an audit we did. And these are all the things that are wrong with your online presence or your websites. And this is how we can fix it. And we give them a whole breakdown for free. Now, based on what they see, they want to talk to us. Now, we don't have to do this at this point because now we've been able to build some traction. However, when you're starting out, you just need to be able to build some, proof. That's all, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if somebody does not know you, they've not heard of you, you're not Oprah. You and I are not Oprah. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. Then it makes it very difficult for them to be able to listen to you. The 3 main things: principles, purpose, and people. These 3 P's is what you can use to identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Do you have a limiting belief? Some have it about money. They feel like in order to be able to move forward in life, they need to hold on tight to their money. Certain people have limiting beliefs about learning. They feel like some people feel like they're too old to learn certain things like software and stuff, like, oh, maybe the younger people, I'm too old. So all of us have limiting beliefs that are holding us back. I used to have a limiting belief that I'm dyslexic, so I can't write a book. These are things that we put on ourselves and it prevents us to be able to achieve the things we want to achieve. So in order for you to move forward regarding anything you want to do, the first step is always identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back and position yourself in a way that you can propel yourself forward by overcoming those limiting beliefs that you currently have. What the people you want to associate yourself and learn from do not have time for you, or are you inaccessible? Mandy really came for me on this live. So one of the things I have learned is anytime you are reaching out to somebody for something, if you can lead with value, you usually have a better response than just asking them for things. For instance, let's say you come across something that you want to learn from. The truth is, number one, people doing things are busy. The reason that they are progressing is because they are doing things. But in order to get their attention, you have to lead with value. And if you lead with value, you can stop people in their tracks. This is one basic thing I try to do. Even when I'm responding to my comments and the rest, I try to write people's names. Most people, even when it's somebody's birthday, they'll just say HBD. They put very little effort in anything. I'll see this thing online. It's like somebody's birthday. Maybe the person is your friend and they write HBD. Then they put heart sign. There's nothing wrong with that, but understand that the person that you did that for, they didn't even remember you wished them on their birthday, because everybody's leaving HBD. Everybody's leaving just praying hands. Everybody's leaving HBD. Let me read this before it goes up. I've also been able to enter certain circles by joining programs and offering some of these to be. Yes, Liza, 100% agree. So just going the extra mile, that for people opens a lot of doors. For me, if you lead by giving, you now have leverage. If you lead by just asking, now you owe the person. I don't like owing people. I don't like to be in the position of somebody who just takes and doesn't give back. So if you want to have leverage and you want to have better get a response, figure out who the person is, right? If I was, let's say, a photographer and I went on social media and I saw some pictures somebody posted and I didn't think it wasn't great, I can take that picture, I can edit it, I can make it better, 3 pictures of them, create a headshot from it and send it to them. I sent this to you, I thought the background XYZ. Now you have led the conversation with value. If I'm a video editor, I take that video, instead of telling people, use my video services, I can now go in and just take a snippet and edit it and make it better. So based on what you do, you can start by just giving. And when you give and the thing you are giving is valuable, now people respond better, because the truth is people get phone calls, they get requests, they get messages every day, especially if they are doing things. They get a lot of messages every day. So how do you stand out from all the people reaching out? You lead by value. Now, going back to just simple things, one of the things I'm trying to do is when I'm responding to people, I try and look at their profile, their name, and respond. They say the most sweetest word any human being will hear on this earth is their name. I'm sure some of you, if I just mention your name, I was like, Liza, you pay attention, because your name, people are attentive to their name. If I say Mandy, you know who that is because people are attentive to their name. So little things, by paying attention and adding value, starts to separate you from the rest. It does not mean people automatically respond to you if you approach life this way. It just increases the law of averages on your side. Please, I will take professional headshots of you. Mandy, please stop misbehaving. How can you avoid creating a conflict of interest? Can you clarify your question? Conflict of interest regarding what exactly? How can you avoid creating a conflict of interest? Regarding what? Reaching out to somebody who is doing something that you're doing and you feel like it's a conflict of interest? If you can clarify that for me, I'll be more than happy to answer you. But that is my little 2 cents. Always nice when you are starting a conversation or you're getting to know somebody and they can lead by just giving. So working with people in similar business as you. When somebody is in a similar business as you, for a real estate agent, and you are also going to be a real estate agent and you want to ask them questions, you have to position yourself in a way that you are admiring them and you're asking from a place of admiration, saying that, hey, I see that you've been doing real estate for the last 5 years. I really admire your work. I admire XYZ about you. And let the person know you've done some research about them. I like the fact that you went to meet with this person and you documented it. I like the way you showcase this. As somebody who is starting from scratch, who don't have their first client, what would you recommend I do to just get my feet warm? I know you don't owe me anything, but if you respond to this, it will mean the world to me. That alone makes the person feel something, that this person is somebody who looks like they want to be able to learn, and you increase the chances of them teaching you. But this is the hack. Look for an adjacent profession and ask that person who is adjacent, and they can give you some information. For instance, real estate people, they work well with mortgage lenders. Mortgage lenders also have a good idea when it comes to houses. So if your real estate agent does not want to teach you everything you need to know, number one, first go to Google, go and do your research, use ChatGPT. This day and age, the information is not an issue. The most important thing is association and you being around people who are doing it. So I don't think they're going to give you any novel thing that you've never heard about, but just to build a relationship, if you're able to listen and execute on what they tell you, they start to take you more seriously. I hope I answered your question. So I'll recommend that you just, as much as you can, you lead by doing stuff for them. You lead by being somebody who have done research on them and value them, and it comes back to you in full circle. Conflict of interest, the sea is big enough for all of us to fresh buckets of water and still be full. If somebody has 1,000 clients, there's still more than enough to go around. So anybody who is secured in their work, they're not going to be intimidated by you in any way. But if you feel like it's creating friction and it's making them uncomfortable, as I mentioned, find an adjacent person who does something similar to what they are doing, but it's slightly different, and get that information from the person and learn from the person. If you're starting a business from scratch and you want to learn the blueprint step by step, the mistake I made is I tried to figure out these things by myself. What I've learned is you can fast track your way by learning from other people. And if you want to be able to get this, it's on Amazon. And if you want a free sample about 40 pages, you can click the link in my bio or just comment blueprint and I'll send it over to you. The goal is just to give the information to the right people who are willing and ready to take some action on it, because all information is useless if you don't do anything with it. You can be sitting on a gold mine, but if you don't do anything with it, it means nothing. So hey guys, thank you for making time today. I love you and leave you. Principles, people, and purpose. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.